What's up, everybody? I'm your host, the Last Dragon, Richard Prafit, and welcome back to the Perfect Rolex and Real Estate channel. As you can see, we are on location in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico, La Isla La Cantada. So we are still here. Today's our last day, and I wanted to make this video. I wanted to address a question that is still going on in the watch community. It was here when I started, and it'll be here long after me, and that is, people are asking everybody this question. They're asking themselves. Collectors all over the world are asking this question. What is the perfect watch collection? What is the perfect watch collection? Whether you're a beginner, novice, intermediate, whatever you are, everybody's always asking, what is the perfect watch collection? So we're going to get into it now. Get yourself something to drink and watch the credits, and we'll come back. This is what I'm on today. Boricua coffee. Cheers, family. I just love, I love that intro. That is, without a doubt, one of the best intros in the watch game. Again, thank you, D. All right, so now, what is the perfect Rolex collection? At the end of the day, some people have one watch, they're one and done. Some people have big collections, 10, 15, 20 watches. But at the end of the day, a three-piece Rolex, we're Rolex specific on this channel. So a three-piece Rolex collection, at the end of the day, is really all you need. Anything over three pieces, it's just gravy, in my opinion. My collection is bigger than three pieces, but I am, heavy. Anything over three pieces, you're really like heavy enthusiast, right? Okay, so a three-piece collection is really all you need. You'll be covered all bases with these three pieces that I'm about to mention here. And also, they're going to be in three different metals. All right, so listen up. Number one. Yes, you probably guessed it. The landlord watch. You need a landlord watch in your life. Rolex Submariner, aka the landlord watch. This is one of the most iconic watches ever made, not by Rolex, ever made in the whole world. The Rolex Submariner, aka landlord watch, is probably the best all-around timepiece, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, best watch that money can buy. All right, so landlord watch, boom, in the ballot, checked off. Number one, must have in your collection. Number two, you need a GMT. You're gonna need a GMT. You need a GMT master in your life. So with the landlord watch, you got your diver, boom, out of the way. GMT, you got your GMT function watch, boom, checked off, out of the way. Number three, you're gonna need a chronograph. You're gonna need a chronograph in your life, and that chronograph is gonna be a Rolex Daytona. Now, you got a diver, you got a GMT, and you got a chronograph in your life. You're covered for everything. You are covered for any situation. Now, people could say, hey, Prafit, what about dress watches? I mean, okay, I have a dress watch in my collection, but again, remember, my collection is more than three pieces, more than the essential three pieces. So the problem is this, that if you don't build your collection with these first three pieces, with these essential three-piece foundation, you're always going to be chasing that next watch. That's what I've learned since I've been a watch collector, not just a Rolex owner, one watch, but as I've become a Rolex collector, I have learned that if you don't build your collection with these three pieces, these foundational pieces, you will always be chasing that next watch. So when it comes to dress watches, I mean, let's be honest, sports watches are king right now. Rolex Sports is king right now. And a dress watch if you're not really older than 60, you're not really going to go to your AD and buy a brand new dress watch. Or, let me rephrase that. Older than 60, or you grew up in the 80s. You grew up in the 80s and you don't have a Rolex yet. And you grew up in the 80s. And now is the time that you're going to get your first piece. You might go and say, look, I want, I'm able to get a date. So I want to get that as my first piece. Okay, I understand that. But those two categories aside, nobody's really getting dress watches right now. You know what I mean? Sports watches are all the rage. So you need a diver, you need a GMT, and you need a chronograph, right? So, and the metals. I'm sorry, some people are gonna say, oh yeah, that's true, great. You need all steel. That's not the case. I'm sorry, maybe you're gonna disagree with me, but you need 3 different metals. If you're gonna build a foundation, or you're gonna have the perfect 3-piece watch collection, 3-piece Rolex collection, you're gonna need all 3 metals. I'm sorry, you're gonna need all 3 metals. If you disagree with me, put it in the comments below. But if you agree with me, give it that upvote, give it that thumbs up, and explain to me how would you mix them up in your collection. Now, you're gonna need 3 metals. You're gonna need these 3 different watches, and you're gonna need 3 different metals. Now, how you arrange them, how you pick which watch in which metal is up to you. But you're gonna need a steel piece. Obviously, some people are gonna say, oh, your whole collection can be steel. No, it can't. I'll explain to you why. You're gonna need a steel piece, you're gonna need a 2-tone piece, and you're gonna need a solid gold. I'm sorry, you just are. That's just the way it is. Because a steel piece is gonna have you covered, right? When you're trying to fly, under the radar, low-key, stealth, or if you're just going to work, or, you're going to breakfast with the wife, whatever, you got a steel piece, you got an everyday, you got a, something that you really won't, rough and tumble, whatever. You got your steel watch covered. You're going to need a 2-tone. You're going to need a 2-tone. 2-tone, you're going out to brunch with the family, and, you want to show a little flash, but you don't want to, or you're on a cruise ship, you want to show a little flash, but you don't want to be too loud. So, you're wearing a short sleeve, and they see that 2-tone beautifulness on your wrist. And you're going to need a solid gold piece. I'm sorry, you're going to need a solid gold piece. You're going to a wedding, you're going to, whatever, you're going to closings, whatever you're doing, you're going to need a solid gold in your collection. I don't believe there's any way around that. So you need 3 metals, and you need 3 different watches. So we got the diver, we got the GMT, and we got the chronograph, and we got steel, we got 2-tone, and we got solid gold. Now, again, that's for a 3-piece collection. And I found in my personal life, if you don't build your collection off of that, you can build off of that, you climb up to become, you're striving for legendary watch collection status. I understand that. That's fine. Whether you get into vintages or you get into bejeweled pieces or whatever it is, I understand. But that 3-piece foundation, I found personally that if you don't build that collection first, build that foundation, create that foundation first, you'll always be chasing the next watch, and you'll feel like you're never full. Oh, my watch box holds 8 pieces, my watch box holds 10 pieces, my watch box holds 12 pieces. That's because you didn't get a watch box that holds 3 pieces, put the essentials in there, and call it a day. Call it a day. All right, so here we go. How I would build the perfect 3-piece collection if I was to do it again. Now, if you wanted to do stainless, steel stainless steel sub, aka landlord watch, two-tone, root beer GMT and gold, gold Daytona, that's fine. That's fine. If you want it, but I'm going to explain to you again. It doesn't matter how you mix and match, but you need the steel, you need the two-tone, you need the solid gold, you need the GMT, you need the landlord, and you need the chronograph. Now I'm going to explain to you what will be my perfect three-piece Rolex collection. If I could do it again, this is what I would buy. Now, for my steel piece, I would buy the Rolex Batman. Rolex Batman on a Jubilee. I'll explain to you why. Rolex Batman on the Jubilee, I mean, first of all, it gets you a GMT covered. And then the Jubilee bracelet is probably one of the most comfortable bracelets in the game. And number two, it's super shiny. It's kind of like jewelry. So you have a sports watch that could be dressy, so you really covered both ways. And I think it's super cool with the black, blue, blue, black. I think it's an amazing watch. I have mine. I just got it, and I enjoy that. I enjoy the heck out of it. I wear it a lot. Yeah, I really love it. So yeah, and you don't have to have. You're gonna get three pieces. You don't have to have a box full of oysters. You get your one Jubilee on the GMT, and you get it out the way. I mean, you can get the GMT root beer on an oyster, or you can get the Pepsi on the Jubilee. But I say, since you're only going to have three pieces, you don't want three oyster bracelets, so you get one Jubilee and you make that a Batman, or Pepsi, whatever's your preference. But again, this would be my perfect three-piece collection. I would get the Batman on a Jubilee. Boom. Number one, Jubilee out the way. Number two, for my two-tone piece, I mean, is there really much to think about? Boom, right there, Landlord Bluesy. I mean, this is, in my opinion, probably the most iconic, most recognizable watch in the world. I mean, you could be a mile away and somebody's walking with the two-tone Landlord Bluesy, and you know immediately what it is. You know it's a Rolex, you know it's a Landlord, and you know it's the Bluesy from a mile away. I mean, unless when it gets closer, you notice that it's a copy, because there's millions of, this is probably the most copied watch on the planet, because in my opinion, it's the most iconic. And if you were to have a one watch collection, this watch could easily be your one and done, because you got the strength of steel, you got the beauty of solid gold, 18 karat yellow gold, which, I mean, this watch is cool in the night, it's cool in the day, but there's something about when the sun hits it, boom. Oh man, it's magical. It is actually magical. It is like you're wearing fairy dust on your wrist. It's like, oof. I hit you with that oof. This is just a fantastic watch. Whether you're a billionaire or, you're just starting out on your career, this, in my opinion, is the best all-around, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, best watch money can't buy. Okay, number two, Landlord watch, Bluesy. Boom, ballot in the box, checked off, out the way. Number two. Now number three, that only leaves one left, solid gold, and it has to be Daytona. So number three for my perfect three-piece watch collection, I would get the yellow gold, green dial John Mayer. I would get the John Mayer. Shout out to my boy Bud. I know he's got the John Mayer, and I think that is a fantastical watch. I have not been called on it, but I don't, because I don't get allocated watches. I just get calls, but I have not been called on the John Mayer. But if I was get called on that John Mayer, that beautiful John Mayer watch, I think I would pick it up. It's a lot of money, sure, it's a lot of money, but I think it's fantastic. It's your chronograph, and it's your gold, and it's your like it's a beautiful. If you ever seen it in person, that green dial is again, it's magical. It's magical. Like the two-tone bluesy in this category, it is the two-tone bluesy of that category. You know, it's fairy dust on your wrist. It is fantastic. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's it. That's my opinion. That will be my perfect three-piece collection. As my steel, I would have a GMT, and it would be a Batman on a Jubilee, So that way I don't have three pieces all on oysters. I would have a steel Batman on a Jubilee, number one. Number two, the most iconic watch on the planet, the two-tone bluesy. Boom! Whenever the sun hits it, there's something mystical about when you put a two-tone bluesy on your wrist. I can't explain it, but there is something magical about it. This watch has magical powers. That's all I'm going to say. Anybody that owns this watch knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm sorry, I can't really say that for the older model, because I didn't feel that way with the older model. But this one, the one with the ceramic bezel, ceramic bezel, I don't know. There's something magical about it. It's just, to me, it's a fantastic watch. Again, like I said, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, probably the best watch money can buy. And number three, the solid gold Daytona green dial, John Mayer. I mean, what else could you possibly want? Now, everything, if you build on that foundation, everything else other than that is just gravy. I mean, you're heading toward legendary status. But if you have these three pieces, you're covered for everything. You are covered for, closing on your dream home. You are covered for brunch with the family. You're covered for after work drinks. You're covered for, your daughter's wedding. You're covered for going to work every day. You're covered for meeting clients in the evening. You are covered for every single occasion that life will throw at you. I mean, you're covered for weddings, you're covered for funerals, you're covered for births, you're covered for, business closings, you're covered for selling your company and you made millions of dollars. You are just covered for every possible situation that life will throw at you. You're even covered for sipping on some Puerto Rican coffee on the beach in Puerto Rico. All right, so there it is. I'm your host, Richard Prafit, the Last Dragon. We're in Puerto Rico. This is our last day actually in Puerto Rico. Next trip planned. Well, first we're going back to New York. And then I have another trip coming up, I think in the following week. And as always, we're going to bring you with us. But if I'm coming to your town, you want to meet up for Drinks with the Dragon, shoot me an email at askprofit@profitrealtygroup.com, or shoot me a DM on my Instagram, which is Perfect Rolex and Real Estate on Instagram, and we'll hook up. We'll talk watches, we'll have a drink, or whatever. Thanks for watching, everybody.